Rangers Stadium of Light. Pascal, start with the away side. Home defeat to Southampton on the weekend. Another poor result.
Well, it's obviously a bit of a crushing defeat, last-minute winner from Sadio Mane for Southampton. But it was quite an even game. QPR, they had their chances. There was that one shot from Joey Barton that Fraser forced. Somehow it took a deflection. I don't know how he reacted so well to manage to tip it up, and then it went over the bar somehow. Ridiculous save from him. Then obviously Mane goes down the other end, brilliant turn on the edge of the box, and he smashes it in the top into the roof of the net. So they were a bit unlucky there, but their form has been terrible of late. They're without winning 8 games in all competitions. Stretching back to before Christmas, that is, and it's 5 defeats in a row in all competitions as well. So they are in free fall. Obviously, they're without a manager still, so things are really looking worrying for QPR.
And we talk about their away form every week, don't they? I mean, they've lost 11 from 11 on the road, and that has to change at some point. You have to think they're going to win an away game, even draw an away game before the end of the season. But the weeks go by, don't they? And it started at 8, 9, 10, 11. You're building up. I think the most worrying thing as well was at home, where all their points have come at home this season, but they've started to lose games at home. I think it's including the FA Cup. They haven't scored in the last 3 games at home, have they, in all competitions? So that's a big worry. Big worry for the fans, big worry for the club. And you look at their next few games, I think they play Hull away, but then they have Spurs and Arsenal at home. So looking at those games, if they lose this game, lose their next game, and then obviously their home form's been poor, like I said, and they're playing Arsenal and Spurs, and you're worried about getting cut adrift. And it's really probably, like I say, they're without a manager and lost 11 from 11, and you're looking, they really need a result from somewhere.
Definitely. Obviously, 19th in the table, still 2 points from safety. It is close down there. 1 win and they could be out of the bottom 3, which is incredible to say considering they have lost every single away game this season. But you saw Charlie Austin injured, and the sort of the early reports were, this really isn't good. He could be out for the whole season. If that happened, it'd be terrible. But they've since come out and said, it's not as bad as we first thought. He's going to miss this game, but he probably will be able to return for the one after that. So that's good news. But obviously, Richard Dunn, he got sidelined for 3 months. Bad news there. And obviously, there's still the manager situation. Who are they getting in? We think it's going to be Sherwood, but since the last couple of days, it's been reported that maybe the deal wasn't as quite close as we first thought. And if he doesn't come in, who is going to come in? You just wonder. It's such a bad situation there at the moment, but it is still so tight at the bottom. And like you say, if they manage to pick up a decent run of form, obviously a result here would be great. Then they could get themselves out. So it is so tight down there.
Moving on to the home side, into the match on the back of a 1-1 draw at Swansea. Decent points. Swansea been quite inconsistent this season, but going up there, going down there, and Jermaine Defoe getting the goal is a typical Defoe goal, wasn't it? You've seen it all the time from him picking up the edge of the box. He said he was looking for a pass, couldn't find it, decided to have a go, and it's that quick movement, isn't it? He seems to generate so much power from a standing position, and the fact that they managed to sign Defoe, I think that's massive, isn't it? I thought if he was going to come back to Premier League, it'd be somewhere like QPR, West Ham, even Spurs taking him back. I mean, he's such a good player. He scores goals. He's experienced, and the draw left them 14th in the table. Not too bad. 4 points off the bottom 3. They're obviously still in that. You look at the bottom of the table. I think the bottom 5, bottom 6 teams. They're all in the mix, aren't they? They're going to be relegated. I think Sunderland will be fine purely because they're bringing in Defoe. They've got players who can score goals, and only lost 1 in the last 5 in all competitions. So too many draws this season, but the form's getting better.
Definitely. It was another draw, wasn't it? But that's now, it is 4 unbeaten in all competitions. They do look a bit better. Obviously, the arrival of Defoe, like you say, that has helped, and he's shown, clinicalness that, some of their strikers, have lacked in the last few months. But, they've been doing okay recently. Like you said, 14th in the table isn't too bad, but, there's way too many draws. But I think their home form as well, they haven't won enough games at home, a lot of draws. And you look at some of the results they've had, draw against Chelsea, but they'll see QPR come in here and they'll think, this is a game we have to win here. Gus Poyet really fancy themselves winning this, but if they don't win it, it's QPR. They're only 5 points behind Sunderland. You would have thought QPR would be further behind them, but if QPR win this, then it's only 2 points back, and Sunderland being dragged back in. So Sunderland, even though they've looked better of late, like 4 unbeaten, like I said, they're still nowhere near clear of the drop zone. So they really need a win here for sure.
Big game, bottom half of the table. Which is good prediction for this one.
I'm actually going to back QPR to get a point. I really am. I think Sunderland, even though they've been doing better recently, they've had a lot of draws, and I think QPR might nick a point here. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. I'm actually going to back Sunderland to win narrowly. I think QPR's away from terrible. It will end at some point, but I think Sunderland will just nick it 1-0. We've got 1-1 draw and a 1-0 win for Sunderland. Thanks for joining us.